have the up, oh, let's see.
Now I have the updates. The first one is on sponsorships, and I can let you know at this time we are finishing. You've got the draft contract of an agreement between the school district and the First Purchasing Savings for the scoreboard donation. The two attorney groups have gone back and forth, and I think they're finished up. I saw something again today from Rob Cox and Aaron Kernan, who is his associate that's working on this. So we should have that ready to go out in the packet on Wednesday. It will be a 30-year term because that's really the reasonable life of a scoreboard that's built today, not 20 years. And so that's the only big difference in that, and that's doable for both sides. So you'll have that. I don't have anything specifically yet from the PCEF because they're still working on whether they're going to go in partnership with somebody else. But what I do have is I've had our solicitor group work on a draft contract so they can go fairly quickly once that does happen. So those are the two pieces I have. The new news on that is that I was in touch today. Jeff Hollenbach called, and they would like to set up a memorial fund for his family in lieu of donations or flowers for the family at the funeral, and have that money dedicated toward going toward the weight room. And so there will be a memorial set up. It'll be in the newspaper that people can contribute to that, that's the family's request. I think that's an awesome thing on part of the family. Bud Hollenbach is a great part of this community, and I think at the final analysis, he wants football and he wants it played well, and this has been such a wonderful facility up here that everybody's bought into that, and what a wonderful tribute that would be for him and for their family. So we're going to work on the process that we put down where the checks, how the checks need to be written out, and they'll come to the school district. I'll just collect them, and Kathy Johnson's going to open up an account for that, and we'll just start working on building up the funds for that. But they think that's a wonderful tribute for a guy who has given so much of his life to football and to the Pennridge community. So we're in the process of working on that. We'll have to figure out how to do some of that stuff later. So that's the update on sponsorships at this point. Advertising with the signs. Our solicitor group is working on a standard template because all we need to do is fill in the name of the company or the name of whatever group wants to fill it in there. We already have the size. We already put that in our brochure, the size of that. So as soon as we start getting those, we'll just have them. We'll bring them to a finance committee meeting and go through those. So just make sure we're all ready for that. Joe Ferry couldn't be here tonight, and so I want to let you know that at this point he doesn't have any donations for pavers or for people that just want to give money. There was a question that Christine had asked me about where we are with the pavers. Jeff hasn't gone any further. He just wanted to let you know that he's working on the paver stuff. He doesn't have any new information. He's not contacted anybody yet there, but everything is now board approved, so we're going to actually go to the point of getting some commitments from people with the pavers. He's working with the architects. They will want to, anybody that wants to donate is going to want to see where it's located. So as they finish their drawings, which they have to bring back to the board for the facilities committee, that will give anybody out there that's looking to donate or be involved with that an idea where they're going to be, so what their cost is going to be to their company. It looks like there'll be more than one area, because I think we're going to get a lot of people that want to do pavers. That's something that I think is doable for a family and individuals.
When will they bring the drawings to the board? When would we know where they would be located?
I don't know the status of how long it's going to take for them to get back to you. I've not been to a facilities committee meeting, so I can find that out and get that out, because that's important information. People are going to know where the different pieces are located. So let me find that out for you.
Just one question that you said on the donations for the weight room then, just to clarify, separate account will be set up for that is completely different than our account that Kathy was setting up for this fundraising?
It'll be its own account, so it's identifiable that that money is coming in specifically
directly.
for the weight room.
Okay.
Just like she's gonna have an account that's specifically set up for the scoreboard,
Mhm.
because that money comes in, I think they want to do either,
5
they
years.
don't, yeah, they don't want to do 10 years, they want it a
They
lot
want
shorter
5
than that.
years.
So there'll be a specific account just for that. It's all going to be under this whole umbrella
Of
of the
fundraising.
stadium. So we'll
Okay.
have all those there, but there'll be a sub-account so anybody can, she can say, this is what you have in for pavers, this is what you have in for straight, the sponsorships, this is what you have in for donations. So we'll do all of that way.
Okay.
Were they thinking of, is it the sponsorship for the weight room, the building, or is it going to be for weight room equipment, or both?
The building, and then
building,
we'll work
okay.
on getting equipment.
Okay.
There could be people that want to, do that. Obviously, we'll give them credit for whatever piece of equipment they want, but I don't think anybody's even thought about specifically what goes in until they see what size, did you approve, and if you, of course, approve the weight room, which I hope you would, will hopefully give that some momentum at this point.
Okay. Then we'll kind of segue into number 3, which is campaign status.
Before we start there, I just wanted to see if, on campaign status, if Dave Babb you have any questions for him. He has playoff games this week, and I promised that if he didn't have any questions from board members here, that I would let him leave. He has other obligations this week.
No, I don't have any. To you, Mr. Thompson? No.
Anything to say, except goodbye? All right. Thank you, Dave. The campaign, as we're getting the pieces in, I think first of all, I'm very, I guess, pleasantly surprised that at this point with the money that we have, a commitment, we already have a commitment that's more than the other places that we compared to see what they were doing. So I want to make sure that, that you understand that things are going very well. They'll probably slow down at some point, but once we identify areas where the pavers are going to go, I think that'll take off really big, and I'm sure that people are going to help out with the donation sponsorship for Jeff's staff about Hollenbach. So I haven't done the big sign with the the thermometer, because you got to make sure you have to have part of the thermometer filled in before you put it out, and I don't know what 40,000 out of 2 million is a very small fraction, so it'll probably be exaggerated, but at some point we might want to think of doing something like that and then putting it out in front of the school. So that's the one thing I thought about. It's not my idea. I think somebody had mentioned it at one of our earlier committees to make sure that there's something that lets the public know where we are in the status. And I don't think putting it right by the field is going to get the visibility as opposed to putting it closer to Fifth Street. So we can talk about that and figure out what we need to do to make it safe, but also visible enough so that it's part of this campaign.
I had a question, comment. When the board voted to build the bleachers here and the stadium and move forward in that direction, Dr. Radigan had put forward a proposal, and she had talked about, adopt a project. And so some of the things like the weight room and the team rooms were there, and they weren't necessarily part of the base project. But one of the things was a wall of fame, and so we haven't talked about that at all. And I'm just wondering if we could add that into a sponsorship, if we wanted to try and have that be a sponsorship. And I don't know if that's something, if we do want to have a wall of fame before the drawings are complete, even if we don't do it now, if that's something that we need to ask Dewey to put into the drawings, where would it be, and some possibilities of what it might look like.
It's a good idea, because when I talk to either Kathy or Jeff to find out when we're going to get the drawings back, if they could put a place, say, show us likely places, because you may have your own opinions about, I think here's a better place than that. And we have other areas that we haven't explored yet. We're just starting with the advertising. There's been mentioned by both of you and Jeff as well that on the back of the visitor bleachers, it's very visible as you walk in. There's opportunities there too. So there's a lot of opportunities we can get down the road. We kicked off with things that we thought actually would have some public appeal and move it in there. But I think we can grow this quite a bit as we move down the road. But I'll ask them to locate that as well.
Yeah, well, in some school districts, they have, I mean, I know there's, is there an Upper Buck Sports Wall of Fame?
Yep.
Right. And some schools, some high schools have their own Wall of Fame. So if we wanted to do that, I mean, a lot of schools have it within the high school, but if we want to have it in the,
In the facility, in the
in
stadium
the facility, right, so that's something, and then
Yep.
we could get a sponsor to help cover the cost
Sure.
of
And
building.
a lot of them, if the families that would be very interested in helping sponsor to keep alive the memory of the people, of their athletes, their sons and daughters that have done well, and grandsons and granddaughters, so, yep, that's a good one.
Right, yeah, it might not even be a wall of fame, it might be a memory wall, I don't know, tying in with, remembering the past
Right.
and creating the future, so that can be worked out, that some sort of wall of honor, maybe.
Is this going to be just for athletes, or is this going to be to recognize, I would hope it would be a
It would
community
be
kind of
all those
thing
up there,
that
you
would
certainly have,
recognize academics as well as
absolutely.
maybe band, almost anything. you could
Well,
put
yeah, I
in.
don't know if we have the wall of fame for, all accomplishments, but I don't know if we want it to be an athletic one,
Well,
or
when
an
you walk-
athletic activity.
When you walk in the high school,
That's only.
Right, there's wall of fame.
Right,
there's Wall of Fame there, so, and that's not limited to
No, I know
a
it's,
specific, sport, academic. It really varies based on who it is that's being honored.
Yeah, because we have a lot of, stellar musicians that have played on Poppy Yoder and have played up here too. I mean, this is the new field, so you could go way back and look at those that have done well, that actually have been on the field. And that's boys, girls, and also our music
they're
programs
going
that have
to
been
other
there.
sports too. It's
Yeah.
not just for football, or is this going to be for all
It
sports?
would-
No,
it would
this
be
is all
for all.
sports.
I would hope so.
I would hope to cover all.
Right.
Okay.
Did Mr. Ferry give any update at all on, I know he had emailed us somewhat, just some concepts on the flyer.
He said he's almost done with the flyer, so you two
The
should be
traffic.
seeing it one more time
Okay.
before it goes out. He did say, let them know that I'm almost done.
Okay, because right now, it was the small handout, which was handed out at the 2 home games, which seemed to work pretty successful, because you're not handing out a big piece of paper there.
Right.
Yeah, I think for the football
To get the word
games,
out, yeah.
that's,
And then we can look into, at that point, spreading it throughout different schools,
Right, and-
buildings, and so forth.
yeah, one thing that I wanted to bring up is, how we can get more people involved. And I was talking to somebody who's in the basketball booster club, and they said something, we were talking about their program and if we could put something in the program, and they said, oh, if we have money, they said maybe the basketball booster club would buy a paver in honor of, the seniors that played this year. So, I mean, it was just an idea that was put out there. So I'm wondering if we could reach out to parent groups and booster clubs and just share the information and, and try, having them spread the, word, and then also if they want to help in any way, if they've raised more money than they expected, or have that be part of something that they want to donate to.
Have we determined that there will be some incentives to the other booster clubs, that they would, if they sell something here, that they'll have a percentage, some kind of commission or something, so that it will help them?
We talked about in a past meeting that we were going to wait to do, that we were just going to start with selling it ourselves.
Just the initial,
Yeah.
what we had planned, trying to get the word out about this whole campaign, and to all the groups.
What advantage is there in waiting?
The advantage is that all the booster clubs already have their fundraisers set for this year. They do not have them set for 15-16. So this gives them time to say, do we want to be part of it? What's the fair? I mean, they're going to have to let us know what's a fair amount for somebody selling something. But they have, even the elementary PTOs who would be interested, they already have their fundraisers set, because they start planning those back in March before the school year starts for that. So it's a timing thing. So we start a little bit late on this. So it's only a this year, it's a wait, and then see if they want to be part of that, because I don't see why it wouldn't be a good program down the road. But they have to be able to plan for it and say, is this what we want to do? Take it to their booster club executive group, and then they have to make a decision.
I contacted Indian Valley Handbugs, and they said that I need some information to give to their leadership staff. They indicated they might be interested in helping us with fundraising. They wanted to know specifically what we're looking for, to see, have, discuss at their club level, to see if there's interest in helping us. So when the brochure is available, I need the brochure. Okay,
And all the information is on the website.
okay.
So, and there's a link, when you go onto the website, on the right side, under quick links, it says Rams on the Bridge Capital Campaign.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I'll pass that on. Thank you.
And it would be nice to have flyers to hand out too, so once we get them done and they're approved by everybody, then it's good to take it to the service clubs and the other areas, including our booster clubs and PTOs, saying for next year, here are opportunities, when you look at setting what you may want to do for a goal for a fundraiser for the following year, that here's some things, we're going to have to set some parameters within this group and see what's a fair percentage, and then make sure that's approved, take that to the board and get it approved. But we have enough time for that before they get to next year.
Anything else? Did you have something else?
Mariah, did you want to say something? I was wondering, do you have any thoughts on how to get students involved? Do you know what, do you know about the pavers and what we're doing? I don't know if you've, no, okay,
So most students probably aren't familiar with it yet. Okay, which is good to know. That's what we want to know, how, if word's getting around at all about this. Okay.
So what year are you?
I'm a sophomore.
Are you sophomore? Okay.
We-
It might be something too for senior parents to send something out to say, do you want to buy a paver to have your child's name be part of the, at the stadium?
And also start talking to the classes and say, there are opportunities, for bleacher sponsorships, because most of them have bigger amounts of money left over. Class of 2015, and class of 2006, as they start looking down the road for things they may want to give to the school, that's part of our, our stadium project, as well as things they do inside the school. So we'll at least, give them an option. So we'll start talking. Gina Devarney is back now, so we'll start, work on that. But I want the flyer done too. It's easy to have that, so they can have a conversation. Yeah, once that's finished, then they can, have some conversation what they do and do not want to do.
So, anything?
No? Okay. Any comments from the press or the public? No? Okay, then I guess we are adjourned for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. It was just a short update.